Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are taking a close look at a product that stirred up quite a bit of discussion, Keyslim drops.
That's right. And our source material here is presented almost like an investigative piece, tracing a journalist's journey through the weight loss world and ending up with this specific solution.
Exactly. So our goal today is to give you, our listeners, a really clear but also quick understanding of what this source is claiming. We'll unpack the story behind Keyslim drops, its whole three-stage approach, the ingredients they talk about, and, importantly, what users are supposedly saying about it.
And the central claim is, well, it's pretty bold. The source says the solution helps you burn fat faster, cuts appetite, and even reverses food addiction.
And the kicker.
Without counting calories, measuring food, or hitting the gym, it's all about turning fat into energy, apparently.
And they cite a huge number of users, over 74,000 people, vouching for it. That's a significant number we need to dig into.
Absolutely. How do they claim to get that kind of validation? Let's get into the narrative.
Okay, so the story, the why behind this product, it starts very personally, doesn't it? With the author, Matthew Harris.
It really does. The source opens with this, frankly, harrowing story about his wife, Doris.
Yeah, I read that. Being publicly shamed, people yelling horrible things at her on the street, like, go to fat camp, you ugly fat woman, even being spat on just because of her weight.
It's brutal, and that experience, that public cruelty, is positioned as the catalyst for his whole investigation. He needed to find an answer.
But it wasn't just about his wife, was it? He had his own health scare.
Right. He talks about getting this diagnosis, being labeled morbidly obese, and the doctor basically told him he was headed for a wheelchair because his body just couldn't handle the weight anymore. Joints, organs, everything under stress.
That's terrifying. And he got a DEXA scan to see exactly what was going on.
Yeah, a DEXA scan. For anyone listening who doesn't know, it's way more detailed than just stepping on a scale. It shows you bone density, muscle mass, and importantly, fat distribution, like exactly where the fat is.
And the results were bad.
A real shocker, according to him. Half his body weight was fat. And not just, the fat under the skin.
Uh-oh.
Visceral fat. The dangerous kind, deep inside, wrapped around his heart, his liver, spleen, lungs. It's the type of fat that actively messes with your organ function.
Okay, so that personal crisis, seeing the numbers, it pushed him to ask bigger questions.
Exactly. He started looking back, wondering why this seems like such a modern epidemic. He mentions looking at old family photos from the 70s.
The puzzle of the past.
Right. He noticed people back then, they just seemed slimmer, fitter, across the board.
Even though they weren't exactly eating clean, right?
Yeah.
The source mentions white bread, jam, Oreos, ice cream.
All the stuff we're told to avoid now. And they weren't obsessive about exercise either. In fact, he cites research suggesting people actually ate more calories back then.
So if it wasn't fewer calories or more exercise, what changed?
That's his core question. He points to a massive shift in our diet over the last, say, 25 years. Cases of really rapid weight gain have doubled, he claims.
And specific changes.
He highlights things like 3 times more cooking oils and cheese in our diets, swapping potatoes for chips more often, eating more chicken, interestingly, and a huge one, a massive increase in corn-derived sweeteners in almost everything.
Okay, so this leads into the source's big accusation, the hyper-eating idea.
Precisely. The argument is that food companies are deliberately engineering food to make us addicted, spending billions, like $3.5 billion a year, the source claims, just to figure out how to make us eat more than we need.
So bypassing our natural full signal.
That's exactly. Manipulating brain chemistry so we crave food, not because we're truly hungry, but because we're hooked. It's engineered hyper-eating.
Does the source give specific examples of this food engineering?
Oh, yeah. Chicken nuggets are one. They describe it as layers of addictive stuff.
How so?
Well, the factory fries them, adding fat. Then the restaurant often fries them again, adding more fat. Then you dip them in sauce that's usually loaded with sugar and salt.
So it's like
sugar on salt on fat, as the source puts it, designed for maximum craving.
And potato chips.
Similar idea. The potato itself breaks down into sugars quickly, then they're deep fried, adding fat, then loaded with salt, maybe cheese powder too.
Which is?
Addictive salt on fat on sugar. Again, the claim is it's a calculated delivery system to short-circuit your brain's natural controls.
Wow. And artificial sweeteners play a role too.
A big one, according to the source. They reference research suggesting about 3/4 of packaged foods and drinks have added sweeteners.
And the problem with that is?
It might trick your brain. Dr. Kathleen Page is cited saying sweeteners, especially for women, might confuse the brain into thinking it's still hungry, leading to more cravings.
So the overall message from Harris is that dieting is almost impossible because you're not fighting hunger.
You're fighting a designed addiction, a chemical trap, and crucially, the source says, it's not your fault.
Okay, so if the problem is this engineered addiction, then willpower alone isn't the answer, according to this narrative. Where did Harris look next?
He started looking at cases that seemed to break all the rules. Diet paradoxes, you could call them.
Like the Twinkie diet guy, remember that?
Exactly. Professor Mark Held. The source details his experiment. 10 weeks eating basically only junk food, Twinkies, Doritos, Oreos, stuff like that.
And he lost weight.
Lost 27 pounds. Not only that, his body fat dropped significantly from 33% down to 24%. And his health markers actually improved. Bad cholesterol down 20%, blood fats reduced by half.
That seems counterintuitive, to say the least. If you can lose weight eating Twinkies, what does that say about calorie counting?
It definitely challenges the simple calories in, calories out model, or at least suggests it's incomplete. The source mentions other examples too.
Oh, yeah.
Someone losing 37 pounds eating only McDonald's. Another person going from over 300 pounds to just 117 eating only potatoes. And someone eating deep dish pizza for over 200 days and still losing weight.
Wild. So how did these people do it? What's the explanation offered?
This is where the scientist friend Charles Roberts comes in. According to the source, Roberts told Harris these people have an unfair advantage.
An unfair advantage. Meaning what?
Meaning their bodies naturally contain a specific rare group of substances and amino acids.
Okay. And what do these substances do?
Two key things, apparently. One, they seriously boost metabolism. Two, they help the body convert stored fat directly into pure energy. So their bodies just handle energy balance differently, almost regardless of what they eat.
Right, maintaining a natural weight easily.
That's the idea. Now, here's where it gets interesting and connects back to the big food critique.
How so?
Roberts apparently figured out that these unfair advantage substances are all natural amino acids and compounds.
And the significance of that is?
They can't be patented. Pharmaceutical companies make money from new synthetic drugs they can patent and own exclusively. You can't patent L-carnitine or macaroot, you know?
I see. So the source claims the industry ignores these natural solutions because there's no massive profit in them.
That's the core allegation, that they actively suppress research into natural treatments and focus on patentable, potentially less effective drugs instead. It's a strong claim.
Definitely. So what was the breakthrough Roberts shared?
He apparently isolated the specific natural ingredients that could replicate this unfair advantage for people who don't have it naturally.
Ingredients that do what exactly?
Ingredients that essentially talk directly to the brain and tell it to turn off the hunger signals, to flip the hunger off switch.
So the goal is to let people eat only what their body actually needs, without the cravings, without the struggle.
Precisely. Breaking that hyper-eating cycle chemically, rather than relying on willpower, which the source argues is doomed to fail against engineered addiction.
Okay, so this whole narrative, the personal struggle, the big food conspiracy, the unfair advantage science, this all leads to Keyslim drops.
Right. It's presented as the culmination of that search, an all-natural solution based on Charles Roberts' formula.
And it contains quite a few ingredients.
Over 24 essential ingredients, the source says. And it's not a pill or a powder, which they make a point of emphasizing.
Like liquid drops, right?
Yeah, 2 drops in a glass of water once a day, designed to be super easy to take.
And it works in 3 stages. Stage 1 is about breaking the addiction.
Exactly. Stage 1 is all about tackling that hyper-eating head-on, suppressing the appetite naturally, stopping those engineered cravings.
The goal being you feel full sooner.
Right. They use the pizza example. Instead of feeling compelled to eat the whole 3,000-calorie thing, maybe you feel satisfied after just 2 slices.
Which drastically cuts calories without feeling deprived.
That's the claim, saving potentially thousands of calories without the mental battle of restriction.
So how does stage 1 supposedly achieve this? They mention the big 5 essential ingredients.
Yep. First up is a pair, L-ornithine and chromium picolinate.
Okay, what do they do?
Well, L-ornithine is an amino acid often used by athletes. Chromium picolinate helps with insulin function and blood sugar. The source cites science from the University of Warwick, suggesting they work together to stimulate something called tanocytes in the brain.
Tanocytes, what are they?
They're apparently specialized cells near the hypothalamus, the brain's control center for appetite. The claim is this ingredient combo activates these cells,
Which then tells the brain to flip the hunger off switch. That sounds pretty specific neurologically speaking.
It is, and the studies they cite supposedly confirm this leads to a big drop in how much food people eat and their cravings.
Interesting. What are the other ingredients in the Big Five?
Next, they target stress eating. For that, they use Eleuthero, also known as Siberian ginseng, and Gymnema sylvestris.
Okay, ginseng for stress makes sense. What about gymnema?
It's traditionally called the sugar destroyer in India. The idea is this pair helps reduce eating triggered by stress and specifically dulls cravings for sugary sweets, tackling the emotional side of eating.
Got it. And the fifth one?
GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid. This is a major neurotransmitter in the brain. Its job is basically to calm down nerve activity.
And how does that help with appetite?
Research they cite suggests optimizing GABA levels can significantly suppress cravings for those super tempting, high-fat, high-sugar, high-salt foods by like 30% or more.
So turning down the volume on the addictive food cravings?
That's the idea. Plus, they mention side benefits for GABA, like better mood, better sleep, even help with PMS symptoms, kind of a holistic calming effect that makes you less likely to reach for comfort food.
Right, supporting the whole process.
Okay, so once stage 1 has supposedly calmed the cravings and broken the addiction cycle,
Stage 2 kicks in to deal with the fat that's already there.
exactly. This phase is all about ramping up your metabolism, turning your body into, as they put it, a fat-burning machine, even when you're just sitting around.
And focusing specifically on that dangerous visceral fat.
That's a key target, making the body much better at tapping into and burning that internal fat around the organs.
What ingredients are supposed to drive this fat burning?
They start with 2 amino acids, L-glutamine and L-carnitine.
I know L-carnitine is involved in energy production.
Right. It acts like a shuttle, carrying fatty acids into the cell's power plants, the mitochondria, so they can be burned for fuel. Better shuttle service means more fat burning.
Is there evidence for that?
They cite an analysis of 9 studies where people taking L-carnitine lost, on average, about 2.9 pounds more than those who didn't. So a measurable effect on mobilizing fat.
Okay, what else?
Guarana from the Amazon. It's a natural source of caffeine, but apparently a slower release kind.
So it boosts the metabolism.
That's the main role here, yes. They mention research from King's College London suggesting it can increase your resting metabolic rate by up to 11% for about 12 hours.
Meaning you burn more calories just existing.
Pretty much. Passive fat burning throughout the day. It also acts as an appetite suppressant, kind of boosting stage 1.
Now this next one seems a bit unusual. Licorice extract in a fat burner.
Yeah, that caught my eye too. But the explanation makes sense in context. It's apparently there to help with the consequences of rapid weight loss.
Ah, like loose skin.
Exactly. Licorice extract is included to help improve the appearance of dry or damaged skin, trying to maintain elasticity and suppleness as the pounds come off. It's a thoughtful addition addressing a common concern.
Makes sense. What about direct fat burners?
2 more big ones, raspberry ketones and green tea leaf extract. Green tea is well known for its catechins, like EGCG.
Which boosts thermogenesis, right? Body heat production.
Correct. And they back this up with a specific study. 60 obese people, the green tea group lost 7.3 pounds more over 3 months and burned about 183 extra calories per day. Real numbers.
Okay, now they also mention ingredients specifically for stubborn areas, like the waist and hips.
Yeah, they call it the ugly fat ball, which is quite a term. 3 ingredients target this specifically.
Good.
The first is African mango extract, or AME. They highlight a 10-week study pretty heavily.
And the results were?
Pretty dramatic, an average of 28 pounds lost, and crucially, a 6.4 inch reduction in waist size. That's a big change in shape.
Wow. Any other effects?
Yeah, the study also showed a 40% drop in total cholesterol and improvements in blood sugar. So metabolic benefits beyond just weight. It seems to influence hormones involved in fat storage, like leptin.
Okay, what's the second one for stubborn fat?
Forskolin, derived from a plant in the mint family. Its key benefit, according to the source, is that it helps release stored fat from fat cells.
But without breaking down muscle.
Exactly. So you burn fat, but preserve lean mass, which is important for strength and metabolism.
And the third?
Capiscon, which sounds like their term for something related to capsicum or capsaicin, the stuff in chili peppers.
Ah, the heat compound. Thermogenic.
Right. It slightly raises body temperature, making your metabolism work harder and burn more calories. And like Ariana, it also acts as an appetite suppressant. So a double whammy for stage 2.
So stages 1 and 2 are about breaking addiction and burning existing fat. Stage 3 is about keeping it off.
Exactly. This is the long game. The source insists this isn't just a quick fix. Stage 3 is designed to create a lasting metabolic change so the weight stays off for years. Sustainability.
And how do they aim for that sustainable metabolism boost?
They bring in mucka root from the Andes, used for thousands of years. Here, it's cited for speeding up metabolism consistently, not just in short bursts.
Any specific benefits mentioned?
Yeah, they highlight it as being particularly good for women, referencing a study showing it helps with menopausal symptoms like hot flashes and night sweats. So hormonal balance support alongside the metabolic boost.
Interesting. What else for long-term prevention?
Grapefruit and grapeseed extract. Working together, they're claimed to help prevent new long-term fat deposits from forming and also reduce how much fat your body absorbs from your food.
Sort of like metabolic defense.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Helping you maintain results even if your diet isn't perfect.
And this stage also brings back that secret unfair advantage idea with specific amino acids.
Right. 4 key amino acids refined for long-term support. This is supposedly the core of how naturally slim people stay that way.
Okay, what are they?
First is tyrosine. It's crucial for making thyroid hormones. By supporting the thyroid, the idea is it helps your body burn calories efficiently around the clock for energy instead of storing them.
Makes sense.
Next, L-tryptophan. We know it helps with serotonin in sleep, right? Here, it's positioned as a long-term appetite suppressant, reinforcing stage 1 and helping with insomnia. Good sleep is vital for weight management hormones.
True. And the last two.
Beta-alanine and L-arginine. These are involved in energy production and blood flow. Their role here is supposedly to train the body to prefer using stored fat as its main energy source.
So, more energy for you, less fat on you. A positive cycle?
That's the claimed mechanism.
Yeah.
The body gets better at tapping fat reserves, which gives you energy, which reinforces the fat burning.
Stage 3 also seems to include general wellness ingredients.
Yeah, it's not just about metabolism. They include astragalus and panax ginseng. Both are adaptogens meant to boost energy, stamina, fight fatigue.
Supporting overall vitality.
Right. And also eleuthero, again, this time cited for supporting bone strength and stabilizing blood sugar. More holistic metabolic health.
And there's one final, maybe unexpected ingredient. Hydrochloric acid. HCl.
Yeah, stomach acid. It sounds weird, but it's actually crucial. HCl is what your stomach uses to start breaking down food, especially proteins, and absorb nutrients properly.
So why include support for it here?
The argument is that if your digestion isn't optimal, you won't properly absorb and use all these 24 ingredients or even the nutrients from your regular food. So HCl support is there to maximize the effectiveness of everything else in the formula, making sure it all gets utilized.
Covering all the bases, it seems.
So we've gone through the theory, the stages, the ingredients. What about the results? Did it actually work for people?
Well, the source describes a trial Matthew Harris set up. He got 478 volunteers, people who were really desperate to lose weight.
And the outcome?
This is where it gets, well, almost unbelievable. The source claims an almost 100% success rate, supposedly verified by the scientist Charles Roberts.
Almost 100%. That's virtually unheard of in any kind of weight loss study. How do they explain that? Does Roberts' verification detail how that was measured?
The source doesn't go deep into the verification methodology, unfortunately. It mainly emphasizes that Roberts himself was skeptical, rechecked the data because it seemed too good to be true, but ultimately confirmed that, based on their trial parameters, essentially everyone saw significant, measurable benefits. It leans heavily on the idea that because it addresses the root cause of addiction, it works differently than typical diets.
Okay. So, putting the percentage aside for a moment, what kind of specific results were reported early on?
Pretty dramatic stuff. People losing 10, 15, even 20 pounds quickly, significant drops in body fat percentage, and really big changes in waist measurements, 10, 20, even 30 inches mentioned. Seems to target that abdominal fat effectively based on these reports.
Do they share individual stories, anecdotes?
Yes, several. There's Carla M. from North Carolina. She said her doctor told her surgery is the only way.
And Keyslim.
She claims it took her back to the weight she was 30 or 35 years ago. No more flabby belly, loose skin, or needing oversized clothes, she says.
That's a powerful turnaround. Who else?
James B. from New York calls it a game changer. Lost over 30 pounds, but also saw his blood pressure and cholesterol improve significantly. Claims he has visible abs for the first time ever.
So health benefits beyond just the scale.
Right. Then there's Joanna M. from Michigan. She apparently faced ridicule for her weight, tried everything, and said Keyslim was the only thing that worked. Lost 20 pounds seemingly without effort, she reports.
Effortless is a recurring theme they push.
Definitely. And Michelle F. from Illinois talks about gaining freedom from what she recognized as food addiction. Dropped 2 dress sizes, felt more confident, had way more energy. It highlights the psychological aspect.
Yeah, the addiction breaking part.
And one more, Martin V. from Alabama. Lost 18 pounds, says his beer belly is almost gone. But he emphasizes he still eats his favorite foods and drinks.
Which reinforces that no deprivation message, and his wife is happy, apparently.
That's what he says. Happy wife, happy life, maybe.
Huh, perhaps. Did they report any other benefits besides weight loss?
Yeah, this was interesting. They say based on feedback, 97% of people taking it for over 3 months reported other positive effects.
Like what?
Increased energy, better focus, and just a general sense of well-being, feeling calm and peaceful.
That ties back to some of those stage 1 and stage 3 ingredients like GABA, L-tryptophan, the adaptogens, suggesting effects beyond just metabolism.
It seems like they're aiming for a whole system improvement, not just weight reduction.
Okay, so pulling it all together, the core argument for Keyslim drops is this 3-step process, right?
Right. Step 1, break the food addiction cycle they claim big food creates.
Step 2, fire up the metabolism to burn off existing fat, especially that harmful visceral fat, 247.
And step 3, lock it in for the long haul, ensuring the weight stays off permanently.
That's the package they're selling. And how do they position the cost?
They frame it very deliberately as an investment, not an expense, an investment in your long-term health.
Arguing it saves you money down the line.
Hugely. They throw out some big numbers, potentially saving $135,000 you might otherwise spend on diets or pills they call ineffective, or avoiding $25,000 for gastric bypass surgery. Plus, they mention obese individuals often have double the medical costs.
So pay now to save much more later. That's the pitch.
Exactly. They acknowledge the ingredients make it potentially worth hundreds per bottle, claiming some users would pay $1,000. But then they offer a special discount, only through their specific promotion.
And they push the multi-bottle packages.
Strongly. The 3 or 6 bottle options are highly recommended for getting the best results because real change takes time and also for maximum savings. It's presented as a limited time deal.
Is there a guarantee? People might be hesitant.
A big one, an ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee.
Meaning?
If you don't lose significant weight, feel more energy, feel better overall, you can get a full refund, even if you've used the entire bottle. Risk-free, they claim.
That's a strong guarantee. Any bonuses for ordering quickly?
Yes, 3 fast-action upgrade bonuses if you order right away. First is Biohacking Secrets, valued at $97 apparently. It's a guide and videos on improving energy, focus, performance.
Okay, bonus 1. What's 2?
Supercharge Your Body, also valued at $97. A guide with videos on boosting your immune system, practical steps, resources.
And the third bonus?
The 1-Day Detox Miracle Guide, valued at $67. It's a plan for a once-a-month detox to flush toxins, they say.
So 3 extra guides and video resources on top of the drops if you order now.
That's the offer, and the final message from the source is pretty clear. This supply and these bonuses won't last. You need to act now.
Makes sense from a marketing perspective.
So they urge you, the listener, to choose your package today. You can find the direct link to purchase the product at the link in the comment below. #tagoutro.
You know, stepping back from the product itself, the whole narrative presented in this source material hinges on this idea, this accusation really, that effective natural solutions are actively suppressed by industry because they aren't patentable.
Right, the profit motive argument.
Exactly. And it leaves you, the listener, with a really tricky question, doesn't it? In today's world, flooded with information, where you have, supplement companies making huge claims with science on one side and big pharma with their patented solutions and their science on the other, how do you actually figure out what works?
How do you verify claims when both sides say science backs them up, especially when money is so clearly involved?
It's a tough one. It really forces you to think critically about how we evaluate health information and, well, the whole business of wellness.
Okay, let's unpack this even more on your own.